Your paycheck arrives, and for a moment, everything feels under control. Then the bills hit. A few small purchases slip through. By the end of the month, the money is gone, and you are left wondering how it disappeared so quickly. Often, the real issue isn't how much you earn. Your money simply has no clear job before it reaches your account. In this video, you will learn a simple 4-part system: 25% for growth, 15% for stability, 50% for essentials, and 10% for life. Like and subscribe for practical money strategies without the usual noise. First, we need to understand why income alone never solves the problem. Most people assume a bigger paycheck will finally fix everything. Then, the apartment gets nicer, the car payment grows, subscriptions multiply, and the extra money disappears almost as fast as the old salary did. More income helps, but it cannot repair a system that has no rules. A raise can improve your life, but only if the money is not silently assigned to new obligations. A better approach reverses the order. Instead of spending first and saving whatever survives, you decide what each dollar should do before it arrives. Some money covers today. Some protects you from setbacks. Some builds the future. Some is there to enjoy. The important shift is not waiting for a perfect income. It is giving money a destination before convenience, impulse, or status makes that decision for you. That is the idea behind the 25-15-50-10 framework, and it starts by making the full picture visible. Here is the framework. Divide your take-home pay into 4 categories: 25% for growth, 15% for stability, 50% for essentials, and 10% for life. On $4,000 a month, that means $1,000 for your future, $600 for protection, $2,000 for daily needs, and $400 to enjoy. This isn't a claim that every wealthy person follows these exact percentages. Think of it as a planning tool, not a secret millionaire formula or personalized financial advice. The numbers give you a target and expose weak points. Maybe housing takes too much. Maybe nothing is being saved. Maybe every raise disappears into a more expensive lifestyle. Once the problem is clearly visible, you can start correcting it. The percentages may change with debt, income, family responsibilities, and your personal risk tolerance, but the principle stays the same. Assign every dollar a purpose before it gets spent by accident. The first category determines whether your paycheck only supports today or begins creating more options for tomorrow. The first 25% is growth. This part of your paycheck should expand the choices your salary can provide later. It can support long-term investing, retirement accounts that fit your situation, or skills that raise your earning power. Start with benefits you already have. If your employer offers a 401k match, contributing enough to qualify can add employer money to your retirement account, although each plan has its own rules. Check vesting rules and fees before assuming every matched dollar is immediately yours, or every investment option is inexpensive. A Roth IRA works differently. Contributions are not deductible, but qualified withdrawals can be tax-free when IRS requirements are met. Broad market index funds can spread your money across many securities instead of tying your future to one company. They still carry risk, and diversification does not prevent losses, but it reduces dependence on a single winner. Time matters as much as the amount. Picture one person investing a modest amount in their 20s, while another waits 10 years and then contributes more. The late starter may never fully recover the years that compound growth lost. Starting small is not glamorous, but waiting for the perfect salary can be expensive. Growth also includes earning power. A useful skill in sales, coding, design, editing, or communication can keep paying you long after the course ends. A new car may improve how your life looks. A stronger skill can change what your life can afford. Still, 25% is not always the correct starting point. If you have high-interest credit card debt, no emergency cash, and one repair would force you to borrow again, investing the full amount may leave you exposed. Build in the right order. Start with a percentage you can sustain, automate it, then increase it as your position improves. If this is changing how you see your paycheck, tap like. It helps practical financial education reach more people. Growth builds the future, but the next category keeps one bad week from destroying it. Growth matters, but it needs protection. That is the job of the next 15%, stability. This money is not chasing the highest return. It is there so an ordinary emergency does not become expensive debt. Imagine your car breaks down before work. The repair costs $1,200, and you have nothing set aside. You put it on a credit card. Interest starts accumulating, the monthly payment grows, and the money you plan to invest now goes toward yesterday's problem. That repair cost more than $1,200. It derailed your entire plan. An emergency fund changes the sequence. You can pay the bill without selling investments during a market decline or borrowing at a high rate. Keep this money separate from everyday spending, easy to access, and protected from market swings. For many households, an accessible savings account at a federally insured bank or credit union can fit that purpose. The account should be boring on purpose. You are paying for access and certainty, not trying to beat the market with your emergency cash today. Start with a small cash buffer. Then work toward a larger reserve based on your essential monthly expenses. Common guidance often uses 3 to 6 months as a longer-term target, but the right amount depends on job security, health needs, dependents, insurance, and income stability. Someone with unpredictable freelance income may need more than someone in a stable 2-income household. When you use the fund, rebuild it. Once the reserve reaches your target, part of that 15% can move toward investments, debt, or planned goals. First, make your progress harder to undo. Then, deal with the category that quietly absorbs most paychecks, the cost of ordinary life. Protection handles surprises. The next challenge is paying for ordinary life without letting ordinary life consume everything. That is the purpose of the 50% essentials category. Essentials include housing, basic groceries, transportation, utilities, insurance, healthcare, and obligations you genuinely cannot avoid. They do not include forgotten subscriptions, constant takeout, a luxury car payment, or upgrades bought mostly for other people to notice. This is where financial advice often becomes useless. It blames coffee while ignoring rent, transportation, insurance, and debt. Small purchases can add up, but the biggest changes usually come from the biggest bills. A single housing or transportation decision can outweigh months of discipline on small purchases. You cannot cancel enough streaming services to fix a car loan or housing cost that your income cannot comfortably support. Maybe your rent already takes almost half your paycheck. Then 50% is not a realistic starting point. It is a warning light. Your current structure leaves little room to save, invest, or recover from emergencies. That's not about character. It's a math problem, and math problems need a plan. The answer may involve sharing housing, moving when practical, renegotiating bills, changing vehicles, avoiding new monthly commitments, or raising your income. None of those changes is easy, and some may take years. The immediate goal is to stop making the gap wider. Picture 2 people with the same salary. Each gets a raise. One upgrades the apartment, replaces the car, and adds new monthly payments. The other keeps the largest costs stable and directs the raise towards savings and investments. After a few years, they may appear equally comfortable, but one has far more room to leave a bad job, handle a setback, or take an opportunity. Control the large fixed costs first. That is where meaningful progress usually begins. Once essentials stop swallowing every increase in income, you can reserve money for something many financial plans treat as irresponsible, even though it may help the plan survive. Enjoying your life. Once the major costs are under control, the final 10% goes to life. This is money you can enjoy without guilt, because a plan that feels like punishment rarely lasts. Use it for dinners, hobbies, trips, concerts, gifts, or anything else that matters to you. Decide the amount in advance and keep it separate. When it is gone, wait until the next month. Do not refill it with money meant for growth, stability, or essentials. That boundary makes the category work. Spending with no limit creates regret. Saving with no room for enjoyment builds resentment. Either one can push you to abandon the whole system. Balance makes the plan easier to repeat. Planned spending also feels different from impulsive spending. A weekend away that you saved for is not the same as a trip charged to a credit card after a stressful week. A hobby that fits the budget is not the same as buying something to impress people you barely know. Money should support the present without sabotaging the future. The goal isn't the largest possible account balance while you miss every experience along the way. It's enjoying what you can afford now without sending the bill to your future self. The 4 categories are complete, but the framework still needs judgment. In several common situations, following the percentages exactly would be the wrong move. The first exception is high-interest debt. Paying down an expensive credit card balance can produce a better, more certain financial result than investing while that interest keeps compounding against you. Part of growth in life may need to attack the balance first. An employer match deserves separate treatment because qualifying contributions may unlock additional money from your employer. The second exception is having no emergency fund. Before investing aggressively, build a starter buffer. It doesn't have to cover 6 months right away. Its job is simpler. Keep a flat tire, medical bill, or broken appliance from landing straight on a credit card. Then keep building until the reserve matches the risks in your life. The third exception is irregular income. Freelancers, salespeople, creators, and business owners should not build permanent expenses around their best month. Use a conservative monthly baseline. If taxes are not withheld, estimate and separate what you may owe. Strong months can reinforce stability and growth rather than creating bills that remain when income falls. The fourth exception is essentials already consuming far more than 50%. You may not be able to fix that quickly. Avoid adding new fixed payments. Reduce the largest costs when a realistic opportunity appears. Use future raises to improve the ratio instead of expanding your lifestyle again. These exceptions are why the percentages should guide decisions, not replace thinking. Debt rates, job security, family needs, insurance, taxes, and time horizons all matter. Do not obsess over whether your spreadsheet shows the perfect split. Ask whether your system is making you safer, giving you more options, and reducing the chance that one setback controls your life. If the answer is yes, the percentages can evolve as your situation changes. With those exceptions clear, the framework can now become a simple plan for your next paycheck. Start with your take-home pay, not the salary listed in a job offer. That is the money available after payroll deductions. Create 4 categories: growth, stability, essentials, and life. You can use separate accounts, savings buckets, or sections in a budgeting app. Keep boundaries visible. Next, schedule the transfers for payday. With $4,000 of take-home pay, the original framework sends $1,000 to growth, $600 to stability, reserves $2,000 for essentials, and leaves $400 for life. Adjust the split before automating it. High-interest debt may temporarily claim part of growth and life. A missing emergency fund may require more stability at first. Variable earners may need to fund taxes and use a conservative baseline. Your system should reflect the life you have, not the life a neat percentage assumes. Timing is the final rule. Do not wait until the end of the month to save whatever remains. There is often little left. Move the money when you are paid, before impulse and convenience start bargaining with the plan. After that, review the system every few months or after a major change in income, housing, debt, or family responsibilities. Automation removes repeated decisions. Review keeps the automation pointed in the right direction. Growth buys future options. Stability buys time. Essentials keep daily life running. The final 10% helps you sustain the plan. When your next paycheck arrives, do not wonder where it went after the fact. Choose the split, automate the transfers, and adjust the numbers to your real situation. Managing a paycheck is only the beginning. The next question is what kind of wealth you are building and which kinds of rich people eventually lose it. That video is on the screen now. Click it to continue the series.